Hello, Kurt. Hello, world.
Welcome, fair travelers, to the Adderstone Games podcast/stream, where dreams become reality, realities become dream, and sexual desires become sublimated to weird things about your parents. How you doing today, Darren?
Really, you had to ruin it?
Yeah. Oh man, that's better than your riff. That's a creative process. You gotta make things a little bit weird. Gaming is filled too much with trying to be straight laced.
But we already got to do our safety cards and our X cards and our session zeros.
Hi, Delphia. Sure. Well, you can just believe out what I said, and then we're good to go. Welcome, Delphia. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
Yeah, welcome back. Because we skipped last week, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, you had things to do. You're going around with family, and I think and enjoying life.
Yeah,
that's important.
I've had a crazy week and a half, actually. Yeah. Is there anything you want to talk about in your week and a half, or shall I just spill everything that I've been up to?
I think that my personal opinion, hot take, weeks should be 10 days long. I think
Yes.
a week and a half should just be a week.
Yeah.
I think weeks are too short, and we should basically have 8 days book-ended. We should have 5 days book-ended by four to 5 day weekends. That's how I feel.
4 to 5 day weekends. I think. Yeah. What about 3 and 2 and 4 and 1? Or that's too complicated, isn't it? What about 5 and 3? Maybe just 5 and 3 is good enough.
Okay, sure. 8 days, sure.
Yeah.
I could go for that. Yeah, 5 days followed by 8 days. Yeah, sounds good to me. 32-day months. I'm into it.
Sophie went on a camping trip. Nice.
Wonderful.
Oh yeah, you showed pictures in the Discord. That's right. I remember. I've seen them. Zilphia was helping with some Nordic ritual ceremonies, with burning logs and honoring the old gods and such. So that's pretty cool.
I hope the old gods came out and spoke to you and gave you inspiration. That's what I would like to hear.
Yeah.
Did you meet any old gods during your
I didn't. The gods were silent on my journey. So what did I do? Just after we met 2 weeks ago in the last stream, after that I did this silly thing where I flew to Newcastle to see an old friend. And Newcastle is at the top of England. It's almost Scotland. And we flew there, which was one of those things where it's on paper, sounds like a good idea, but then in practicality, it really wasn't. On paper, it's cheaper than taking a train and way faster. A train is like 6 to 7 hours. The flight is an hour, right? And the plane is cheaper and the train is more expensive. But then when you get the plane tickets and you have to do all the taxis and all the extra add-ons they make you do to choose your seats and all that nonsense, and then you have to consider getting to the airport, which is itself a journey, it ends up being about the same price, I think. And then the travel time was still quicker, but it's definitely more exhausting and involves a lot of waiting in the airport anyway. You wait 2 or 3 hours at the airport, which I thought was fine because I could work. And I still could, but I could do it on a train as well, And there's just I think the hidden cost that I didn't appreciate is it's just more stressful to fly on a plane. Yeah. Even if it's a short journey, than it is get on a train. So.
Yeah, and a 3-hour train ride.
6 hour.
You see some beautiful country. 6 hours, sorry. 6 hours. You see a bunch of beautiful country on the way, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, I know. I think next time if we do it again, we'll be going by train. But anyway, we went to Newcastle to see a good friend. That was excellent. We did lots of nice walks. Went to some markets. Went to some bars and some pubs. Had a great pie. Love pie. That was a good time.
Like a beef pie.
Yeah. It was a beef and ale pie with some other stuff in it. I don't know. It was excellent. And then we flew back on Monday, and then Tuesday my mother came. And then on Wednesday, we went off to the Lake District, which, funnily enough, is where Newcastle is, but on the other side of England. So in hindsight, we could have stayed up in Newcastle and just did a short trip over. Instead, we came all the way back again and then went all the way up again with my mum, but I guess she had to come up anyway. And the Lake District is, as it sounds, is a region in England that has lots of lakes in it. And it's just south of Scotland. It's just south of Hadrian's Wall. And it's just a nice place to go and walks and see nature. But while we were there, it was raining almost non-stop. But that's fine. It was still nice. In fact,
See,
you're gone.
when I hear the word district, because I'm from Los Angeles in America,
Yeah.
district means to me like the fashion district or whatever. That's where they call something. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
they're just like doling out lakes to
Yeah.
everyone. But that sounds like they're
That's
selling
good.
lakes and water. Do they sell bottled water from each of the lakes? Is that like a racket anyone's put together yet?
I don't think so, actually.
Oh, well, if I were there, I would be the guy
No.
who'd be like, look, you can get a mystical water from this lake and sell it. So that's well, that sounds like a fun trip, and glad to hear that you basically went the length of
Well, no, the trip wasn't over yet. It's not over. I'm not done.
Oh, wait.
But first,
Sorry,
I want to show off this photo that we took. This is Castle Rig Stone Circle that we visited in the Lake District. This is a Neolithic monument. These stones have been there for 5,000 years. This photo doesn't do a very good job of showing the layout. It just kind of looks like random stones, but I don't know if you can see my mouse. This is like the edge of a large stone circle that's very wide circumference, that then goes around behind me in the view. And it's, you know, it's a circle. This part here is, you can't really see it very well, but it's actually a rectangle. And that's some kind of chamber that was there once. And then opposite that, on the other side of the circle, is the entrance, which has two larger stones. So at some point it was likely, I don't know, it could have been built over with earth or more stones, I'm not sure. And each of these stones, again, they look tiny, but they're actually about as big as me and you. You can hide behind these stones quite easily. In fact, this one here you can stand behind and you wouldn't be able to be seen. They're like about 2 meters tall, I think. So it's not as big as Stonehenge, but it's still impressive and awesome. And it's on this hill, surrounded by other hills. So I think that if you're on these other hills, you would always be able to see this spot, which I think is interesting.
I just really appreciate the ancient aliens that helped our ancestors build these things. I think it's really, I mean, we should all just be grateful that they helped the ancient peoples with all these impossible to move stones.
Yeah.
It definitely said the stones are massive and no tiny rocks were used in the making. What's the name of this circle called?
Castle. Well, it's just called Castle Rig, which is the name of like the hill area that it's on. I'll type it in chat. Castle Rig. And then it's Stone Circle. It's quite easy to get to. It's near a town. There's a little area you can park in just outside it, and you just hop into a field, and it's just there, which is pretty great. Anyway, so then after that, I took to the Lake District. Then we went all the way down. Literally, so you said we did the whole length. We didn't. Now we did the whole length. We went from the top all the way down to the bottom to southwest England in Devonshire to visit my grandparents. And there we went on an epic walk with them. I had a very good time visiting my grandparents. And we did all of these trips. We did 3 trips, plus a bunch of other things. Justin's parents coming over in June, so that in July we could get a kitten and not have to travel for 2 months. Yeah.
And that's right. You got a little kitten, and congratulations, first of all. That's
Thank you.
A addition to your household.
Yeah.
And did you settle fully? I know there was a tentative.
Yeah, I think we've settled on it. His name is King Hadrian Sarubobo II Esquire, or Bobo for short.
Who was the first? Is my question.
Oh, Sarubobo is our Sarubobo the first. Yeah.
And then he's Sarubobo the second.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Congratulations on King Hadrian Sarubobo II Esquire. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you did.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
All right.
And he might appear. He might appear on stream next week. He's currently sequestered to just the kitchen, but by Sunday he should be out and about everywhere. So he might come by next week or in following weeks. Yeah.
If you're doing this live, we're gonna ask you what's the name of. That's gonna become Adderstone Games trivia.
Yeah.
So remember this. Write it down somewhere. Maybe
write down King
that way.
Hadrian.
We can remember it when we have the official Adderstone Games quiz
Esquire.
in the future.
Yeah.
Now, Christy and I would really love to get a pet as well, and so that's the thing we've been looking at is moving to a place soon with
that'd be pet friendly.
Rent.
Yeah.
A pet baby. Yeah. I would love to have a like a what kind of dog is that from Cowboy Bebop?
Oh, the
A
corgi.
corgi.
The corgi.
Sorry,
You want a
our
corgi?
game.
Yeah.
From a Volin. I would love to have a corgi.
Yeah.
That'd be my.
And
I'd
what
love
does
to have a
corgi mean in Welsh? Do you remember?
Corgi mean? Yes, it means. God damn it! Hold on. And I'm not gonna type it. I'm not typing.
Do you want to give me some clues?
Alright, just kill me.
No, so do you remember the Gwilgi
Yeah.
that we have in a Volin?
I do remember the Gwilgi.
What's the Gwilgi? Can you remember?
Gwilgi is the. Oh no, I'm thinking Gwyth. Is that
No, yeah, you're thinking Gwyth. Yeah, it's similar. So it's Gwil, but then Gi, and then there's also oh, I forgot the other ones. Damn it! Now I'm forgetting things. No, Gi means dog. Gi just means dog, and then Kor is dwarf.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
So,
it just literally means dwarf dog. Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a dwarf dog, and
Yeah.
we're gonna name.
Oh yeah.
We'll name him Dwarf Dog.
Yeah. No, name him after one of the dwarves in the Hobbit. No.
Oh, so not Droop, not Sleepy.
Maybe it depends if he's sleepy. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, but a cat would be good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would love a pet, and I would love my son to have a pet.
True.
He likes animals. So
Yeah.
I think
honestly, I think it's a big deal because both Jasmine and I did not have pets growing up. Our parents weren't keen on pets, and that I think has really affected us. We've been really nervous getting this cat, and we've been putting it off for years, literally years. Jasmine wanted to get this cat, not this cat, a cat, years ago, and she never got round to it. And I said, like, are we getting this cat or what? And then she said, yeah, I want it. I said, okay, well then I will make it happen. So we made the plan happen, did my project managing and made the plan happen. But we've been so nervous about it. It's been unreal. And I really think that if we had pets as kids, we'd be way more cool with it, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I think they teach kids a lot as well. I think it's good. Yeah.
I agree with that. Teaches a lot of things about training, responsibility, mortality.
Yeah.
Actually, so I'm quick aside about this. When I went with Chrissy to her hometown, Kansas City, what amazed me is how literally, I believe everybody in every family I met had a dog.
Yeah. Cool.
But they're not even conscious of it. But it felt to me like you go to a place and everyone literally has like a Pokemon, like a creature.
Yeah.
That, like,
a familiar. Yeah. Yeah.
A familiar. Yeah. Everyone has a familiar in their household. Like literally everyone had a dog.
Yeah.
And it's just like a natural thing because like it's very dog friendly, and I think, and it makes sense for like the Midwest, a lot of space. You know, people get bored, so either you drink or take care of your dog, so it makes sense. So yeah, and I had some dogs growing up too, and
that's
yeah,
cool.
I think it helped teach you about that stuff. So, and Chrissy's good at. I was bad at training them though. Chrissy's good at training them, so I want to join you on this pet journey, my friend. I want to get one soon,
Nice.
so hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully Chrissy overhears me in the next room and she's like, yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's do some Evolving stuff then. We've had a nice big chat, but we haven't seen each other for 2 weeks, so I think it's appropriate.
Now, word on the street is there's some great art you wanted to show.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
That's right, and here we go. This is our good friend Raphael illustrating a dragon for us, or a drake, and I'm quite happy with it.
That's very good.
Yeah.
There's a very regal crown, nice spikes on his head.
Yeah.
It's a red dragon.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like...
He has like kind of
regal.
gold platings on him as well.
Yeah.
You can see the light coming through the membrane. It's good.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And then do you notice another particular detail? It's very special. I'm testing you today. I'm sorry. I'll keep pop quizzing you.
That's all good. Is it the tail?
No. It's not the dragon.
Tail? Okay. Is it the background?
It's the background.
Is it like the dynamics of it?
Okay. No, it's it. He subtly made it the Welsh flag.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, right. Isn't that really cool?
Yeah. Pull up the Welsh flag. Pull up the Welsh flag.
Yeah. For people that, I mean, it's not. It's not
I know people know the Welsh flag. If you're watching the stream, I know you know what the Welsh flag is.
Yeah.
You should still see what it looks
Yeah.
like. So, clever. That is very clever. That was your.
No, that was him by himself. I mean, I used the Welsh flag as a reference for him. I was like, dude, so basically the original designer for this dragon was sourced from the Welsh flag, just because I just wanted to do it as classic as possible. And he was like, okay, sure. Yeah. And then he did that on himself, like way later down the road. And then it took me a while to notice it. I was like, wait, it's not often. He always does one color for the background splash because that's all I need. That's all I asked for. But he did two, and I was like, that's weird. And then I looked at it a bit closer, and I was like, oh, I see what he's doing here. That's awesome. Yeah.
Did you let him know that you noticed?
Yeah. I told him, and he was really happy. Yeah.
Okay.
And it works as well because the Welsh flag literally is. It doesn't. The green and the white don't symbolize anything. The green symbolizes the grass that's present in Wales because the dragon's standing on it, and the white symbolizes the sky because it's always cloudy here. It's just a picture of a dragon standing in Wales. that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it looks like he's standing on grass with a cloudy sky, so it's accomplished.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm about it. That's clever. No, it's a very good depiction. Even the tail is a good detail too.
Yeah, it's nice.
He has a silver tail, so I like that.
And then the other bit I also want to show you is one that I'm less sure about, and it's kind of my own fault. Although it's not the arts. The art's wonderful. But this is our Face Seeker of Pebbles. Mm-hmm. And so what I did here was a few things. One, obviously she has the fairy wings that face seeking school gives you access to from the Bubach, which is very cool. Two, she has this kind of playful persona. She has a flute and daggers that she's juggling, and that shows off the school's like telekinetic powers and also the joy of playing around that the Everchild tries to evoke in the worshippers. But then I did this thing where I wanted her to be possibly Raxian, or possibly from somewhere else. I wanted her to be from somewhere in the Empire, and she's come to Avalon. And so her outfit is kind of Middle Eastern / Mediterranean Arabic kind of inspired. And this is, I guess, I don't know how much I should talk about this on stream in front of people, but in the end, I'm not sure if this was a right idea or not, just because on the one hand, it is good because it shows that there are people coming to Avalon from other areas because of the Raxian Empire. I think that's interesting. But on the other hand, we only have so much artwork in this book to show off characters, and spending like 1/5 of the Face Seeker artwork on someone who's wearing clothes from a different culture is maybe not the best decision as an art director. I don't know. I'm in an hour about it. The beginning I was confident, and then by the end I was less sure, but obviously then it was too late. And the art's wonderful. There's no critique on the art. The art's fantastic, obviously. The artist did exactly what I asked for. But now I'm wondering if what I asked for was... I don't think it's a mistake. I just think it's a call that I made that I'm not sure about in the end.
Let me ask you this: is there going to be? I know we have the descriptions.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you plan to instead it into the text? Is there going to be a caption that describes?
That's the problem. Yes, I don't know, because this kind of stuff before we've had like stories and things like that, but this time I don't know if we're going to have space for it. So she's just going to be there, possibly without context, even, which is even worse, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like I know if I recall correctly, that was a thing that was common in the. Zilfi said that they like it and it fits well with the vibe of the Everchild. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, yeah, because like in 5th edition, in the Player's Handbook, right, they have like the characters and they'll have that little blurb of text, like overlay that tells you about the character to contextualize it a bit more.
Yeah, I've been wanting to add. I think in the preview guide, I wrote little subtitles on all of the artwork to give a little bit of context. So I might do that. If I have time, that is something I would like to do for the book. Just so people know what they're looking at. Because I always know what you're looking at, but people don't necessarily know. Like, for example, the artwork that shows the Efnysien seal on her throne room, right, in the Penavunk Isles. Like, I know what that is. And from context, you could probably guess, because it's in the Penavunk section and it's showing a queen person. but still, it would be good to have it said, just to make it explicit. So,
No,
I'm
I
not,
agree. I agree.
yeah,
I like the idea of contextualizing it.
yeah,
Yeah, this piece. I really like this piece too. It feels. God, you're gonna hate me for saying this.
yeah.
It feels like a cool Magic the Gathering
Okay.
commander.
Yeah, no, you're right. It does actually. Yeah, it would be a cool Magic the Gathering commander. Yeah, yeah,
Like a cool
yeah.
Esper. No, white. Yeah, maybe
Bant, it's
Esper.
Bant, maybe.
Or
Oh, you
oh
think?
no no
Because
no.
you're just looking at the leather. I'm looking at the wings, I
White
guess.
blue red.
Yeah.
White blue red. White blue red. That's white blue
Jeskai.
red again. That's
Yeah.
yeah, like Jeskai.
Yeah.
Like a Jeskai vibe.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think maybe at least in the text, at the very least, I will mention that the Everchild is more welcoming to people from other lands and things like that, to the newcomers to Avalon, as it were.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very pro immigration.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Cool. So
I
that's
guess.
art review. I think I can't remember. I'm sure more art's come in the last 2 weeks, but that's all I can recall for now. All right. Should we get started then?
Yes. Yes. I've been getting started.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done.
Potentially. Anyway, I don't know if that's true. But yes, today we are talking about the Court of Shadows, which is the court and domain of the Everstranger, the god, the Valak god of death, essentially.
And we have an artbook
his realm-
here of the Everstranger's Court, in fact. Where you can see a bunch of his Tell the Take discussing something, spoiler, it's against the Fairy Queen, around this table with a menacing statue of the Everstranger behind him, and this Aurora Borealis lit candle place with dead trees inside it. I don't know, Raphael kind of went off on this one, so it's good.
Yeah. And the realm itself is I'm gonna blow the pronunciation and then Darren will correct me. Anun Vedwid.
No, I think you did it.
No?
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know. We could call it Vedwid or Vedude. Do it. They do it. Do it. Yeah, maybe they do it. Yeah.
Anun Vedwid.
Yeah.
So Anun Vedwid, the realm of the Everstranger, and it's kind of a how do we describe it? A dark realm that's combined. Imagine vast dark swamps lit by revel bonfires and and prismatic aurora borealises lighting the evening sky perpetually. So it's a fun perpetual twilight. So it's kind of like a Florida meets the Northern Lights. How's that sound? Is that
No.
it's like Everglades?
Maybe. I mean,
Everglades.
I would.
Everglades, not like
Sure.
Miami, you know. It's like and also the party spirit of Florida, I guess.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about Florida, it's filled with a lot of nonsense by reputation. So yeah, they like to party and the glyph. Am I saying that right? Glyph.
Yeah.
Are kind of this have this duality of being shade / will-o-wisps, and to mortals they kind of appear as either, or they wait, can they appear as either? How does
Yeah. So here's the will-o-wisp.
Yeah.
And then here's an example of a shade. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're kind of like dark and light at the same time.
Yeah. All right, so we're working on the fairy houses of the group.
Yeah, so we got our court. And what are the 3 house names?
We don't know yet, so we're going to decide right now on stream. Well, at least have a stab at it. Well, I know that's not true. I mean, who leads them? Yeah, so we have Morrigan, led by the Morrigan, and it's going to be the house of Bloodlust, I think, or Battle. Or War, or Impulse. I think Bloodlust is where I'm leaning to at the moment, but we can change that.
House of Bloodlust, huh? So what you're saying is that they're the battle-hungry forever warriors, kind of.
Yeah.
But not war. So we're not. But that's different from being the House of Warfare, because specifically they're about the macabre aspect of it.
Yeah, I think they revel in the visceral acts of battle and war, like the when axe meets flesh, when entrails escape their confines. That's what they're about.
Yeah, they're just That's
So it would almost be like Battle Rage or like Berserker. Yeah, but let's do Bloodlust. I think that's good for now.
House of Brutality.
Yeah, House of Brutality. Yeah.
I kind of like Brutality. It's
No,
kind of metal.
I don't actually. That sounds like if you had someone tied up, you could be brutal to them. But I think that's anathema to what they're about. I think it is part of battle. Like it's not brutality. It's not the context matters, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay.
Yeah, we'd have to settle on the name now. We
Yeah,
can go through it later.
Yeah, settle it for now. I don't know if I'm 100% sold yet, but
Okay.
We can
We can
keep
do it.
allowing the chat to pipe in with what they think it should be.
Okay.
All right. So
Then
the
the
Bloodlust.
Next one is I don't want to give it a long name actually. So I've written down originally Kalek Veer or Ver, but that just seems a little bit long for me. And I have some other, like it could just be Kalek, or it could just be Kalek, or it could just be Beera. But yeah, we'll settle on that later as well. One of these names.
Okay.
And this is the house of, again, I don't know yet, winter, scarcity, hunger, or just death itself. It's not brutal death. It's a death that comes for you from the cold, you know?
Sure. House of. House of. Demise.
Yeah.
House of.
Decay, but I don't know, it's not
House
decay. What's that?
What is it? Wait, oh, I don't like how so.
You're looking up complicated words meaning death.
I just like the different words.
Yeah.
House of Extirpation.
Yeah.
Like that. I just like to spell extirpate from Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. I kind of like House of Scarcity, but I don't know if that really works. Just House of Death.
The scarcity doesn't really work in the other world either, right? Like House of the End.
House of Ends.
House of Endings. House of the End. House of.
I'll put down House of Ends for now.
House of Ends.
House of Hunger. Maybe just Death. But.
Yeah.
Death.
The final house.
Wait, now I'm
house.
Yeah, the finality. Now I'm just googling the word death. Saurus, dead, dying, demise. End, killing, annihilation. Doom, House of Doom. Oh, Doom can work. That kind of has the sense of it's coming for you. House of Fate.
Yeah,
House of Mortality.
It's just weird using mortality for the non-mortal realm.
Yeah, that's true. Let's do Doom then. Let's do Doom for now.
At least has this. Doom has like kind of a prophetic tone to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think that's better, and that's actually part of why maybe Bloodlust is kind of tricky to me too.
Right.
Because of its sort of like mortal coil connotations. So if there's another way to say it, that's a bit more eternal.
I mean, the other thing is like the Morrigan's a Fury, right? The Furies. It could be House of Fury.
Oh, fuck yeah. House of Fury. That's metal. Yeah, I'm in for that. House of Fury? Hell yeah, let's do that. House of Fury, House of Doom. All right.
Yeah, okay. Okay, cool.
They all have to sound like metal albums.
Yeah.
like in honor of our boy Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah.
who's retiring this weekend.
Oh, and
I don't know if you know that.
alternative would be House of Wrath as well, but Fury I think works.
Fury's kind of dope.
Yeah, is it
Yeah, that
Fury
sounds
with an I and E, or is it just with a Y? Because obviously there's the
Well, I mean-
Furies, which is with an I and E, I think, but that's because it's a plural.
Apology. I think doing it as Fury is fine.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
cool.
That's right. That's right. Okay, cool. All right.
Also, sorry.
mhm.
Well, I was gonna say that. Yeah, it also helps because these houses are also houses that may work with players and who they might like serve as a face seeker.
Mhm.
So making them kind of cool and like, oh, I want to be in the House of Fury, or I want to be in the House of I think that's badass. So
Yeah.
I think that's fun.
Okay, and the last one is the House of. Oh no, it's What am I doing? Move this along. This is T. Oh yeah, this has a question mark on it. T Gobernai, Goibnai, or Gorbanus, Gorbanus, or Gorvanon. And this is House of Revelry or House of Sacrifice, which both of those are kind of opposing ideas, so I'm not sure what to go with. If we've already got Fury and Doom, I feel like Revelry gives another kind of side to the Everstranger, whereas Sacrifices kind of feels like death, like the others, right?
Yeah, I guess the only question is because like we have the House of Plenty in the Evermother's realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure does that feel too close, like, or is it okay for there to be multiple party houses?
I think that okay for there to be multiple plot houses. Perhaps in the editing, I'll need to tone down the House of Plenty or make it more focused on fertility, and the sexual side of things. Whereas House of Revelry is like about the partying and drunken escapades and crazy fights and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I have an important note here that I don't know if we need to discuss it on stream or not.
You can start it and then I'll tell you. Let's talk about it off stream.
Okay. So the note is there is that name Goibinai. I don't know if I spelled it correctly there.
Yeah.
There's a character with the same name. Is the son? This is big spoilers for Against the Fairy Queen, by the way. Character with the same name is the son of the Everstranger, and is technically kind of dead in Against the Fairy Queen. Well, he's merged with the Mucklevi, right? This is, but in Celtic tradition, it's a god of feasting, ale, and revels, so it kind of fits perfectly here. I said it could make sense as his son, and where he gets that aspect from, and he can make this figure differently named, move him to Stranger's Court, but that does that, or remove him altogether. Yeah, so basically I was like, so should this person still be here, or should we rename him and just give him a different... let's talk about this off stream, because I can't even get it straight in my head. I can't remember exactly what's happening.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's talk about it off stream.
Yeah.
I had some ideas, but let's talk about it off stream.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the worst case scenario is I'll just pick one of the other names that don't quite fit that one, and that's fine.
For sure.
Yeah, okay. So then the question is, which house do we want to work on first? House of Fury, House of Doom, or the House of Revelry?
Well, if we're still trying to get it straight in our heads we should probably skip the House of Revelry for now.
Yes, that's fair. Yeah.
So, and then either House of Doom or House of Fury. I'm okay with starting with House of Fury.
Sure, that's all.
Especially because
let's just do it.
Okay, so yeah, what Dilphia says, the house could be named in honor of his son. That was kind of the first thing that
cool.
Like, in honor of his son who made this great sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, it's just called the House of whatever, House of Gobinon.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a headless household or something, and they just party.
In his honor.
That's a thought.
Yeah.
That's a So that's where my head was at too, but I guess we don't necessarily have to decide it now.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. That's a good idea though. I like that. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you,
thank
Kurt.
you, Sophia.
Okay, cool.
I'll give credit to.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Team Morrigan, the House of Fury. I think everyone knows who the Morrigan is. The Morrigan is a Fury. She is Irish, Celtic god of war, doom, territory, homeland, spite, destruction. She is a battle fury, is often described as a trio of individuals, all sisters, called the Three Morrigna. In mythology, the membership of the triad is given as Bath, Maksha, and the Morrigan, who may be named Anna. So it might be that the three sisters are Bath, Maksha, and Anna, and together they are the Morrigan.
Right. Yeah, the Morrigan's an interesting character for that reason. The Trinity in one kind of thing, and also inspiration for Morgan Le Fay's name. Am I mistaken there?
I think you are mistaken there. Yeah, I don't think they're completely related.
Okay, well then I read something wrong somewhere, and I asked it to be stricken from the record.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember though. We'd have to fact check it. I'm not sure. So what do we do in these sections, Kurt? I've already forgotten now. Oh, we need to talk about her, don't we? So we talk about what the house is like, right? Oh, should we talk about who else is in the house, though, to give a bit of context for it?
We can start with what the house is like. Okay, so the two main things we need to decide are, one, what does the house look like?
Yeah.
Like if you were to approach the house,
and
then two, some context about what the house does.
Right.
So the structure, and then the purpose, roughly the purpose, and who leads it, and then we sort of populate it with the people that are in the house and locations that are related to it. So, what does the House of Fury look like? Giant bloody spear.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. And now the thing is too with this is with these sections, right? This is purely a lot of this is an invention, but whenever we can sort of think about something that's related to the mythology, of course we do want to do that. Now when we talk about the Morrigan, so let's do some brainstorming / word association, right? Like what animals or images are related to the Morrigan? I think it's
raven.
And then
the
raven, right? So if it's like a raven, then it's like, oh, is it like a nest? Is it like a castle of black feathers? Is it a combination like castle with fucking demon birds flying around it all the time?
That's interesting, actually. So there's an animal connection with all three of these gods, actually. So there's the Morrigan, obviously, the raven she can transform into. Then Efnysien, who's the other guy I've put in this house, he is a nutcase. He's the typical sadistic psychopath chap. And part of his origin story is him mutilating horses.
Okay, yeah.
And then...
Oh, wait, is this the guy that, this is the guy that, he came home and, he married his sister and he didn't know what was going on, so he, killed the horses, and they were everyone was like, what the fuck? Yeah,
you got half of that right. Yeah, his sister's getting married and he wasn't cool with it. Yeah. And he basically almost started a war between Wales and Ireland, essentially, and then he did later on.
Yeah, because he thought they slighted their honor and shit.
Yeah. And he ends up redeeming himself and sacrifices himself and dies to save everyone, but he kind of created the mess that he was rescuing in the first place. So yeah, he's very much depicted as nutcase. Yeah.
He's Bran's brother, right?
Yeah. No, he's Bran's son, I think.
Bran's son, okay.
Yeah. And the daughter is his daughter. I mean, yeah, the girl is his daughter, and his sister, yeah. And the other god we have here is Belatucadros, which is an awesome name, Belatucadros. And he is interesting because I already used his name in Avalon 5 years ago when I made the original book. And this is, this is one of those funny things where I was inspired by the original Dungeons and Dragons, like the OG
Yep.
Dungeons and Dragons, because when Gary Gygax and the bunch made the world, obviously they were inspired by mythology and mythological creatures, but they also just made up their own creatures. And so Avalon, I wanted to do that as well, so I also made up some of my own creatures. So some of the creatures in the Avalon book aren't actually originally Celtic creatures. They're ones that I've made up that I thought fit the ethos and the mythology. And one of them was the Belatuc, which actually has an artwork. Let me find it. It's the Belatuc. And I named the Belatuc specifically after that god, because I was trying to find a name for this creature. And it's kind of similar to... They have one in The Witcher, in the Eastern European mythologies. I forget what it's called. Maybe people would know, but in our world, the Belatuc is a ghost spirit that's made up of the bones and ghosts of animals that have been wronged in some way. And so it's a manifestation of wronged animals, either because a forest has been burnt down, or animals have been tortured, or something's happened to pollute an environment. And if animals die in the wrong way, they can return as a Belatuc, which is this creature made of bone and fur and things like that, haunted by multiple animals. And so I named it after that god, and I can't remember exactly why. I think because his name means something to do with an animal. I'd have to look that up. But the point is, all three of these gods are somehow tied to animals. The Morrigan could turn into a raven, Efnysien tortures animals, and the Belatuc is a creature in our world that is made up of tortured animals. So I put that into the broth that is Kurt's brain, and we'll see what comes out.
Well, I mean, we just talked about pets early in the stream, and so I'm hesitant to make the house of animal abuse.
Yeah.
That's kind of tricky.
Yeah. But I mean, it could be a house made of animal bones and animal flesh, just flesh and bones. Maybe it's the House of Bones, but then that sounds like the House of Doom as well.
Right.
God, this is hard, isn't it? The other side is just to go with the war aspect and make it some kind of war camp. But the problem is that the Penlevi are nomads, right? So maybe they don't have a home. Well,
they're nomads, but also,
yeah.
I mean, also though, the interesting thing is the culture of Anun, if they're going to be houses, is decidedly more stationary in a way, because there's meant to be like these kind of weird noble houses. I guess like a point in fiction that I can kind of think of is remember Game of Thrones,
yes.
that psychopath house, the house of the flayed man.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
What's the name of that character? He sucks.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get a book quickly to see if I can find anything on the Morrigan or something.
Sure. House of Slate. What was it called? I'm sure someone remembers better than me. Oh, House Bolton. That's right. And they're like weird, sadistic type folk who love flaying things.
Okay, I'm back.
So I don't know if that's if.
What was it that you said?
I was talking about how House Bolton in Game of Songs of Ice and Fire were the ones who would flay people and had the flayed man on their flag.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if it's focused on animals.
I mean, I'm not saying it should be. I'm just saying there's a connection here.
No, yeah, this connection between ravens, animals, vengefulness. Also, this idea of fury being this kind of like primitive, sort of instinctual thing, right? Which I also kind of like. So
yeah,
if it's like, so going back to this idea of a nest or a den, like a bird's nest made of bones kind of thing. I think that's kind of interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Like imagine a castle that looks like a black stone obelisk surrounded by nests of bones and weird materials and stuff.
Yeah, I'm okay with something like that. Like, it's
interesting.
Yeah, it's like the elephant graveyard in Lion King.
From the Lion King?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant from the Lion
King.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the nest. What about just nest of bones? I mean, that sounds cool.
Sure, nest of bones.
Yeah. Oh, the Den of Bones. Nest. Oh, what's
Bones.
a badger's home called? Badger home. It's
Isn't
called.
that just a den?
Maybe a set. It's called a set.
Oh, that's harder to. Yeah, that's
What?
too many meanings for the word set for that to be a convenient use of it.
Really? Why?
Well, set S-E-T.
No, with two T's, but even if just one T, what's wrong with that?
Oh, it's not bad.
Oh.
2 T's is kind of cool. That what it's called, really?
Yeah.
A
Badger.
set.
I know that because I live in the UK where we have badgers.
That is not. I don't have any badgers in Los Angeles, so it's not a term.
Yeah. Yeah, sets. It can be spelled with one T as well, but whatever. It's a badger's den. Because it's a network of tunnels and numerous entrances. Larger sets are spacious enough to accommodate 15 or more animals, blah, 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 blah. There's a set. One set in southern England spreads over an estimated area of excess of 2,000 square meters. Precise measurements have not been attempted. I like that qualification.
I think the science needs to reinvestigate.
Yeah.
Now a set.
A set of bones.
It's like it's.
Or nest of bones.
Yeah.
We'll put there. We'll leave it nest.
I think nest of bones. A nest of bones kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm into that. Nest of bones. I'm in.
Okay. And then we'll have to. We've paid ourselves in the corner now for the House of Doom. I don't know what they're going to do for those guys, but it's not also going to be a nest of bones.
No. House of Doom. We could do the black obelisk. That's what we can do. It's like the like a that could be like the like Space Odyssey 2001,
right?
Sort of foretelling of the future. Have you seen that movie? Space Odyssey
Yeah, Once Upon a Time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for all you film buffs out there, do you recall what the beginning of that movie is?
No.
It's the famous scene with the monkeys. They're all around, and it goes down, and then you have Speaks Zasura playing while like a giant black stone obelisk shows up, and they like go crazy trying to it kind of thing. And it's this idea of like a more advanced. You can interpret it as a sort of more advanced society, sort of interacting with a primitive one, which is kind of a sub theme of 2001. So in terms of doom and prophecy, that's also a thing, right? Of like the Fae being these sort of prophetic creatures with more knowledge than mortals.
Yeah.
And so they understand you better than you know yourself, and it's not good. Kind of.
Cool. Well, you know what? I love it, and you're right, and it also makes sense as well with what we've already written about the world, because if you look in the artwork here, this is a model that the Faerie Court is looking at of another art piece that Raphael did.
Okay.
Which is here. Which is, it says here, but then it's actually here. Yeah, here it is. So that is a model of this, which is the dungeon cairn. That is the final chapter in the Against the Fairy Queen campaign book, which is really cool. And the point is that these things here are black obelisks, right? And so this is already a feature of architecture in this realm. So you're right, Kurt. It makes sense for a giant black obelisk. I love it. Cool.
That's what that represents.
Yeah.
We've heard it here. You heard it here. Thanks, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
And was it Clark? Was it Arthur C. Clarke, the author of the original?
Yeah.
The original Space Odyssey?
I think so. And then the last house is obviously going to be a great bonfire, right? That has to be the great bonfire.
It's a barbecue.
Okay, cool. So that's that done then. That's good. So what else then? You said there's two things you did. One was describe the place, and then the other one was what the house does. Yeah.
Yeah, the ideas of what the purpose, and then so a bit about the purpose and who rules it.
Yeah. So the purpose is twofold. One is to inspire, because these guys are like Valkyries. They're to inspire bloodlust on the battlefield, basically. On the battlefield. They can appear before warriors and lead them into battle. Appear before warriors and lead them into battle. In fact, does it have one of my favorite artworks? I think. Let me check. For some games, I can show you an example of these guys.
And part of this too is identifying.
Yeah, this girl. But she's just this battle spirit, fury, ghost person thing. She dual wields a sword and a spear. She doesn't give a fuck. To excuse my French. And she will appear and she'll screw your stuff up. And she will inspire you into battle for sure. I would go to war.
She looks like Dark Zelda.
Dark Zelda? Hell yeah. Yeah. Great. That's these guys. So yeah, purpose to inspire blood lost on the battlefield, appear before wrestling them into battle. And the other royal is obviously to fight back, fight the Makalevi. It's to protect Avalon from the Makalevi and other fiends, aka the Wild Hunt. That's what these guys do. Cool.
Sure.
And then the leader. You go, sorry.
No, start. Go ahead. The leader is
the Morrigan. Yeah.
She's the Phantom Queen.
Yeah, Morrigan, the Phantom Queen.
I like that.
Yeah,
name.
And triple.
It contextualizes the Faerie Queen more.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it does help a lot. Yeah, actually. In that case, should we put an E on it? Make it our own.
Yeah. Now, when you say triple goddess in her case, is it similar where you actually have Bob, Maka, and Anna? Like, are they actually like? How does it?
I think
how do you imagine?
I don't know. I think it's like Jesus and God. It's like the same kind of thing, right? The Holy Ghost, God, and Jesus. Like, they're three different people, but they're also the same thing. From everything that I've read, maybe Zilphia, you've got a lot of books on knowledge and this kind of stuff as well. Like, what do you know of the Morrigan? I know that on the one hand, she's one being that does stuff, but then also she's three sisters, right? So, is it three sisters that can appear in different places at the same time? Or is it whenever you see the Morrigan, you see one of the three sisters and she can change between them? I don't know. I need to... It was a while ago since I read this stuff and I need to reread it, I guess. But I'm curious to see if Zilphia knows anything or anyone else in the chat can tell us about the Morrigan.
Now, we also have a reference to a modern property that could help us out. A little thing called Steven Universe. I don't know if you've ever seen that
okay.
show.
No, I haven't. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's a wonderful little show that a lot of conservatives hate because one of the principles of it is the characters are all heroes with gems inside them, but they also sort of like meld together to form new gems.
Okay.
So there are like certain characters that are like combined that only appear when they're combined, and then they also separate. And then they all this weird gender swapping stuff. But it's very entertaining. It's very good.
Cool.
It's a great show. But if you're thinking about the divine mysteries of the Trinity as one, that's something we could mess around with, and it could just literally be combining, recombining.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it could be. You're right. It could be that there's three sisters, but then if they can combine into one greater being that has the fury of 1,000 winds and all that kind of stuff.
Combine into the Morrigan.
Yeah.
Also, weird little sub-combinations.
Right, or if two of them get together.
Well, yeah. Again, that's I don't know.
Yeah. I think honestly, I think she will write herself once we reread like her lore and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. I got some. Let me see if I'm. Hold on, I got some Celtic mythology references I can look at right now.
Okay.
I'd be happy to look.
Well, while you look at that, I'm going to think about her ambition. I think her ambition is... I think she is the one that is trying to... how do I explain this? She's trying to motivate the Everstranger to take action. She seeks war with the Ratsians, or something like that, to threaten Avarland's other world or divinity or whatever. The world. Or rather than trying to motivate them, so she's frustrated by it. But I think she'd be active. I don't think we need another betrayal kind of idea thing, underhanding thing. I think it's like she wants to be unshackled. Take action. Wants to be unshackled. Sequel. Or rather, not her sequel, but to have the Varlic to have the Varlic sequel directions with the environment of the world. Yeah.
Wayne, I got.
Yeah.
Now the Morrigan's name, and the Morrigan's home name is actually Owen Nagat.
Okay.
I've actually referenced it before. The Cave of Cats, which is sometimes also associated with the Rathkrogan. So that's interesting too. That's also an animal thing, but it has to do with cats rather than ravens, which I think is kind of interesting.
I mean, she can turn into multiple animals, so...
Sure.
That might be it.
Yeah, there's like actual place. Anyway, that's an actual place in Ireland, though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
They can't really name. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that could be a location, right? Like
that's like her spot.
The Morrigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. That would make sense to me. The
What
Cave
is
of
it?
Cats.
The Cave of Cats. Yeah, that's cool.
Cave of Cats.
So the
Wayne Nagat.
Cave of Cats.
Yeah, this is, and also these are at Rathkruchan, the fort of Kruchan. I'll share this in our Discord.
Okay.
Not direct message for later. For reference.
Okay. So let's move on to the next chat. The psychopathic Efnysien.
Torture chamber.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I don't know if there's two, but I mean, there should be a torture chamber but this should be a demigod of suffering, of brutality, like you said before, brutality. So I don't necessarily want to call it torture chamber. I want to call it something else, like flaying or something like that, like something brutal. But
room of suffering.
Yeah.
He's like Pinhead. Chamber of suffering. The chamber of suffering.
Yeah, chamber of flesh.
Oh. Chamber. Well, because there's this weird thing too, right? Like the Mukalevi, we've really associated with weird flesh stuff.
Yeah.
And all that, and which is fine. But if they're too associated with that, is it like a case of them becoming like their enemy?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, like.
I think so. Because we do. There's a story in that Jasmine wrote in the original book where there are local druids in the Penlevi lands that attune themselves to the Mukalevi and drive themselves mad so that they can predict when it will arise to protect their communities. So if this guy is in the house that is at war with the Mukalevi, it would make sense if one of them has some kind of understanding of their mind and as a result is insane and crazy. And that's where we could put this. I think that's a really good connection, actually.
insane by our standards. From his standards, it makes a lot
Yeah,
of sense.
he yeah, and there are obviously there's the sacrifices that are made for predictive purposes, right? For telling the future, divining. And so maybe he sees what the Muckaloo is up to through the flesh, as it were,
Fair
with
enough.
blood and entrails. Yeah,
Oh, sure, yeah, I like that.
yeah,
So I like it too. Yeah, like this kind of idea of like, if there's a the House of Doom should have prophecy. Like, it can't be a prophetic element, can it?
I think it's. I mean, we can maybe have two prophetic elements. Like, there's one thing is knowing what your enemies are doing, and the other thing is knowing when you're going to die. Like, I don't know, they could be different. But maybe not. Maybe he's just trying to understand the Muckaloo, and that's enough. Like, driven to sadistic insanity, trying to understand the Muckaloo, and its obsession with flesh.
Sure.
Better.
And he is now just his flesh.
Better his house's efforts against them. Yeah, basically. So what's his place then? We're gonna do like House of Entrails or the Room of Entrails. The
room of.
What's another word for it? I don't want like the word room. I just want like another, like a more regal,
like
duke-like word.
Oh, sure.
How
about?
Like sweet, but not sweet. Like auditorium.
It sounds like a public assembly.
Yeah, why not? He does it in front of people. I don't care. Or does he do it by himself?
Theater. Well, there's the theater of pain, theater of flesh. It's kind of weird and fun. But that's like a '90s comic book thing. The theater of blah blah.
Odium. That sounds too Latin though. Odium. Oh yeah.
Too.
Room.
The hippodrome of flesh.
Or skin. Doesn't have to be flesh. It could be skin.
Skin, sure.
Or cuts. Like, because what he does in the story is he cuts like the tendons of these horses' back legs so they can't run.
Don't like that.
I think he takes the skin off as well, to be fair, actually. Oh god, it's horses as well, which is the Muckaloo. Wow, that's such a big coincidence. It's a pure coincidence, but it fits nicely.
Oh, because of the Muckaloo?
Yeah. Oh, parlor.
Yeah.
Parlor.
Parlor.
Salon of skin. Parlor of blood.
Staples.
How
do you say them again?
Efnysien?
Efnysien. Efnysien's laboratory.
Lab, yeah.
What's a weird, older way of
what's the butcher's room? It's the boods, where butchers? The bood, bar, bood, bead.
Oh, oubliette?
Oubliette, oubliette wasn't what I was thinking of, but that works. Evidence oubliette. No, oubliette's like a dungeon. Isn't it? Butcher.
Yeah, like a prison.
Oh, come on, people in chat, help me. Butchers begins like a B. But where they slaughter animals.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a
I'm just googling it. Location where animals are slaughtered. Slaughterhouse, but it's not. There's another word for it than slaughter. Abattoir. It doesn't begin with B. I have the B in it.
Abattoir. That's right.
Yeah, let's do Efnysien's.
Yeah, we know that from Innistrad.
Sure.
But it's a very French word, isn't it?
Yeah. So what? Aren't we doing like French noble bay houses and stuff?
Yeah, that's true. We can get weird with it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. The other thing would be like slaughterhouse or something, but I like this. Yeah.
This is another question, by the way. Is how weird do we get with titles? Because I sort of like hem and haw about it. Like,
Just do
I wouldn't
whatever,
mind if-
do anything you want that your heart desires, and then in editing, I'll just think if it's too
I
far,
see.
and then I'll rein it in if need be. Yeah, you go wherever you want, dude. You go as far as you like.
All right, and then
Yeah.
we'll see. All right, so
Yeah.
I'll just make. I'll give them weird French nobility names.
Flesh,
Um,
usually animals. I guess in the way, maybe the Makalevi's are obsessed with human flesh, so Efnysien's obsessed with animal flesh. And that's like a difference, particularly horses. Animal flesh.
Oh, here's a thing we haven't really talked about too, by the way.
Yeah.
Is what do wait, did we talk about it? Maybe we did.
Yeah.
What do the Tilwith of the Everstranger look like? Like,
Oh right,
are
yeah.
they just skeleton?
I mean, they're these guys, right? I've got the artwork here. They're a mismatch. Mishmash. Is that the word I'm looking for? Mishmash.
Mishmash.
Yeah, they're a mishmash of things. We've got a dude who's literally a bird. It's like Raven guy. We've got weird elf dude, but mostly it's pale skin and pale hair. We've got
also like
go on.
stags. He also has kind of like stag horns.
Yeah, well, no, it's more demon than stag, but yeah, just kind of horns. And then we've got this chick who's pale, but she's got skeleton hands. And then there's this guy who's like an actual shade skeleton guy. And then we have the artwork I showed you earlier of the
Right.
And then we have
So
this guy as well, and he's like this Raven Lord with skulls around his belt. So yeah.
So they're kind of interested in weird body modification stuff and body like weird combinations
mixing between spirit, skeleton, and other animals. Yeah, the macabre animals. Yeah.
Yeah. So thinking about what these different, like, what is this Tilwith Take look like? If he's like obsessed with flesh, is he like a weird pinhead thing? Like, is he a flayed man? Is he himself a flayed Faerie? I think that would look kind of cool.
Sure. I mean, I was going to think more that I was going to give him like the typical like the what's the barber on Butcher Street, the Butch Barber of whatever street, the freaking
Sure. Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, yeah. I was gonna make him look like Sweeney Todd, like a normal looking guy who's like a bit butch and carries around blades, but
yeah, but that's a little bit different because like Sweeney Todd needs to look like a normal person.
Yeah,
in
I
order
know.
To get his victory.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't.
No, yeah.
He embraces it.
You're right. You should look at this guy and go, holy shit, I do not want to stand anywhere near him. In fact, we should turn the other way right now. Yeah, so he should be covered in blood. Yeah, I don't know if maybe parts of his flesh is flayed as well. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
I also love that your last 4 sentences were all censored for me. Like you were just cutting out. It's like Twitch. Or
sorry.
Discord doesn't want me to. Well, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's like Discord is like, nah, I don't want you to hear any of this shit. This is filthy. Whatever you're talking about.
Yeah. Bloody blade dude. Okay. Alright. Then do we want to give this guy any super secrets? I feel like he's like insane and in such the Makalevi. I feel like he could have something going on. But
his super secret is he doesn't really like the stuff. He's just everyone just knows him as a weird guy.
No. I think the obvious thing is
his identity.
The obvious thing is that he's becoming too close to the Makalevi and he's gonna become a thrall of it, right?
Sure. Ooh, what if he has like he's keeping somewhere a young Makalevi that he's studying and nobody else knows about it. It's like a weird fucking experiment. He has like a pet Makalevi somewhere. Is that possible?
It's difficult, but it's possible.
You have a pet. That sounds fucked up.
I know, yeah, it sounds messed up, but I don't know. I kind of like something more that he's acting against the interest of everyone for some reason. Either he's become corrupted by the Makalevi, or he wants to study them further, so he's allowing them to get closer. and ruin everything, so that he can get a closer look at them, something like that.
Sure.
Is like give them false, like he's supposed to give them like military intelligence essentially, right? What if he's giving them false intelligence so that the Makalevi get closer, so that he can get a better understanding of them.
I think, yeah. I don't get too much into the weeds on that.
Yeah.
Like if it's still nearly a bit open, but I do like the idea of having an obsession and he's obsessed with the Mukalevi. And what if he's trying to make plans to become a Mukalevi himself, so he can defeat the He thinks he can defeat the Mukalevi if he becomes a Mukalevi.
Becomes one
kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, because no one knows how exactly they're formed even. So
yeah,
maybe that's part of his obsession with horses. Is he's trying to fuse himself to a horse like a Mukalevi?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's weird. Yeah, I like it. Let's do it.
He's experimenting with becoming a Mukalevi horse fusion. Horse fusion. It sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yeah. Becoming a Mukalevi horse fusion.
Oh, sure, horse fusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh. I have actually no idea how the fusion cards work in that
It's
game.
funny, actually. I know more about Yu-Gi-Oh now because I'm watching YouTube videos at Card Market, because they do these ones where they get Yu-Gi-Oh players to evaluate Magic cards when they have their experience with Magic, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And that was interesting. And then I started watching the corollary of those, where they get Magic players to evaluate Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
And then that then taught me a bit about the game. And then I think I watched a Magic player play Yu-Gi-Oh, like the opening. Oh no, Day 9. Do you know Day 9?
Yeah, I know Day 9.
Yeah, Day 9. He did a series on the Yu-Gi-Oh version of Arena, MTG Arena. And it's hilarious, dude. It's so funny. Because their arenas are not exactly great. Okay? And it teaches you... There's so much for Yu-Gi-Oh to teach you, because it's like Legacy. It's like... The only format is Legacy, or Vintage even. The only format is Vintage. So you have to learn everything to play the game. You have to learn it. You go.
Do they have a band list?
I think so. Yes, they have a band list like Vintage, yeah. So it's Vintage with a band list.
Okay.
But it's like... So then you have to know how Surveil works, and how Transform cards work, and how Double-Faced Land cards work, and how renovation strategies work. You know, you have to do everything to even play the game. And the onboarding is great. And there's some particularly good monologues that he gives about his experience. It's good.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I'm interested. I do like Day 9 a lot.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, I think I'll find a particular clip just to send you, because that kind of encapsulates the whole experience. Really, it's good. Anyway, I like that. End of session. You got sorry.
Let's do the next one and then maybe call it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like 30% of the sentences I'm hearing from you get cut out. So I'm like,
okay. I'm gonna sit up straighter. I'm going to speak slower, and I'm going to enunciate better.
No, it doesn't have to do with your speaking, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just my connection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like... Right. Yeah, I think it's my connection. It doesn't have to do with your talking.
Right.
It's my connection.
And
also, I'm old, so it could just be me going deaf.
Yeah.
All right. Belatucadros.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes. So this guy, I'm going to have to read about quickly, because I can't remember much about him.
This guy's a fucking vampire.
Belatucadros was a deity worshipped in Celtic northern Britain, particularly in Cumberland and Westmoreland. That's just where I came from. In the Roman period, he was identified with Mars, aka god of war, and appears to have been worshipped by lower-ranked Roman soldiers as well as by Britons. In 5 inscriptions, he is called Mars Belatucadros, and the name is frequently translated as Fair Shining One or the Fair Slayer. So let's call him the Fair Slayer. And I'm going to interpret that as pale, not just beautiful.
My entry on Belatucadros from the Encyclopedia of Celtic stuff is basically the same, but it ends with the sentence, his name 1 means beautiful in slaughter, and 2, he never appears with a consort.
Yes.
They point out, what does that mean? He just doesn't.
Often the gods come in pairs for some reason. A male pair and a female. and I guess he doesn't. So who knows why that is? But we can ride with it if you want.
He's asexual. He's the god of asexuality. He only cares about violence.
He has no time for love.
He has no. Yeah, he's basically. Yeah, that's his special interest. He gets the zoomies and then he kills people. The Fair Slayer. It's interesting that he. Okay, let's use logic. Why would lowly soldiers be drawn to him? I think it's kind of an interesting thing. Like, well, what do all lowly soldiers have in common? Like following orders, right? Like this idea of being a part of something greater.
Yeah, I think
like the duty.
There's that.
Playing.
I was coming from the other way as well. Is that the fact that the higher ups aren't worshipping him tells me he has nothing to do with strategy, tactics, right? It is the visceral getting stuck into war and battle. Like there's one thing going to war, the other one being the person on the front line actually in the battle trying to survive, right? The maelstrom, the chaos of it.
Sure, yeah, the foot soldier that has to deal with actually carry out the mission and so on.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Fair Slayer, he's like very much a soldier, like a soldier. Would you say?
A warrior, but
very much
soldier. Yeah.
Very much the sort of the competent, focused, and merciless warrior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pale.
Thrives in the chaos. Battle. Yeah, people worship him because they want to embody him. They want to be protected. They want to survive, right? He survives.
How about this? Belatucadros' vanguard.
Ooh.
What if he's just always fighting? He just never rests. Like basically, he's just constantly going into killing things, and he doesn't stop. He's just this constant force of like hunting. He's just this constant hunter. He's just always fighting. He never stops. Is that a thing?
That's a thing. I don't know. Again, we have this small connection with. I have this creature in the world called a Belatuc that is, haunted, vengeful animal spirits. So I don't know if we could tie that into it at all. That would be great if we can. If we can't, then it's not a problem. Like, can we give him like ghost hounds, ghost dogs or something, or hunting animals, or if he kills animals a lot? I don't know.
The animals that fighting and hunting the fiends of Anun on the borders of their kingdom. Often, typically aided by the ghostly steeds and hunting dogs.
Yeah, let's give him the Kun Anun. By the the ghost dogs that help the hunt in the other world. Yeah. There's your typically again. Yeah.
Typically, yeah. Again, this is just me talking.
Yeah, I know, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, we just delete all my typicallys.
Yeah. Slayer. Pale guy. Yeah, so maybe he's like he never comes to court. Right? He never comes to court. Yeah. He doesn't stop. Yeah. Yeah.
Never comes to court and is well respected for their unflagging dedication to brutalizing his enemies.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. Alright. I'm down with that. Cool. So that's one house. The House of Fury. They reside in a nest of bones. The purpose is to inspire bloodlust in the battlefield, protect the Bond from the Muckalevy and other fiends. They're led by the Morrigan, who has some kind of cave of cats, and there's a combination of three sisters.
It's just three single women, 3 cat ladies.
Yeah. She's also a spellcaster, by the way. She's a big spellcaster. She doesn't actually get swing swords. Not a sword swinger. Not a sword swinger. At least what I read, but we could read more. Then there's Efnysien's Abattoir. He's a bloody flayed dude who's driven to sadistic insanity trying to understand the Makaleve. Yeah, this is my favourite thing, actually. This is, again, I've talked about this a few times in streams before, where this is my favourite part of this process, where we take actual myths that are written down and passed down through thousands of years, and then there's a way to combine them together to make something slightly new that still respects everything that's going on. And this guy literally has a story in Welsh mythology about him slaughtering animals for sadistic pleasure, and then we can connect it to the Makaleve to make it a new thing that works. I don't know, it feels awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, and it makes sense, and you're adding to the fantasy canon in our own way, in a respectful way. I like to think.
Yeah. Cool. So that's it for now then.
Yeah, we'll reconvene next week, see how far we got with all this stuff, and hopefully, possibly with this the end of this stuff again, or possibly with a whole new section.
Yes, possibly,
potentially, typically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Whenever I see Belatucadros' name, I just think it's like Bela Lugosi, like he's a vampire.
I see.
Like a young Bela Lugosi going out there in the field of battle. Anyway, thanks y'all. Thank you, Zilphia, for joining us and chatting and for your wonderful ideas. Thank you everyone else who was watching that didn't chat, but that's okay. Thank you YouTubers who might be watching later on YouTube and streaming. Please, if you have any thoughts on anything and suggestions, please feel free to leave us some comments. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button.
I should do comment review.
Oh, is there a YouTube comment review?
Yeah, I forgot to do YouTube comment review. Okay, one second, let me set this up straight.
YouTube, so we do post on YouTube, and so if you like what you see, and you want to watch it again for some reason twice in a row, feel free to.
Well, no, if you missed what happened earlier, yeah, and if you have any comments afterwards as well, you leave them on there. We will read them and we do reply as well.
Yeah, dittos. Always fun hanging with you too.
Yeah.
My name is Kurt. I'm trying to. Yeah. So we did have a comment review. What was your comment review?
We have from our good friend and buddy. God damn it! You can see like all the things that I don't want you to see. I want you to just see the comment.
Should I look it up?
No, it's fine. No, I've got it here. This is from our last stream on the Court of Branches. And he said, great stream as always. Thank you to a couple of ideas. Maybe for the Elil, the whole thing being ancient and making these incremental changes, they would have built up a whole system of archaic rituals regarding social status, greetings, etc. that could be a hazard to adventurers to not inadvertently offend them. Could also explain why the Cauldron of Inspiration doesn't get used all day, every day. Also, for their favourite things, maybe stuff adventurers can provide would be stuff they have a blind spot to. Oh, I just realized your stream can't see it, so you have to listen to what I'm saying. Like improvisation, acting, comedy, maybe because everything they do is bioengineering. So they'll be impressed by carving, painting, or mechanical items like clockwork. Then he says, on the other hand, maybe they would see these as cheap imitations and offensive. Maybe there's a split between younger and older Elil. Anyway, great stream as always. Love your stuff, Darren Kurt. You're both super creative and can't wait for the full book. Wow, isn't that lovely? Thank you, Tuup.
Thank you. And thank you for the ideas and the feedback. Yeah, well, consider them. I think I when I was writing that section too, I took some of those ideas. That's cool. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, I like the idea of like the social interactions, being something that has grown to become archaic and extended, like a super long secret handshake, and then if you don't know how to obey these like in rules, then you kind of get shunned or punished, and mortals tend to fall foul.
It's like metal scenes for music for heavy metal. they become.
No, I guess I'm so out of that I have no idea. Yeah.
Oh no, well that's because you're not in the scene, Darren.
Yeah. Okay, that's it then. Then we'll head off. So if you leave comments on YouTube, we will read them on stream as well and talk about them. And that's it. All right, goodbye everyone. Thank you very much, Kurt. Thank you, chat.
Thanks, team. All right, later, Gators.
Later, Gators.
Gators.